Good evening, Grace. Please, have a seat.
I'm already sitting.
Look at this fine Indian restaurant I brought you to.
I'm so excited to eat and talk with you tonight.
Me too. Here, have some bread. It's carbohydrates. It'll supply your body with energy. Did you know polysaccharides make up carbs?
Oh no, I did not know that.
Oh my gosh, this is so great. You're eating 2 macromolecules at once. That butter is a lipid. Lipids store energy, unlike carbs that give you energy. Lipids are also a necessity for digesting food.
Wow, Sam, you know a lot about how we metabolize.
I do.
Let me guess, chicken is a type of macromolecule too?
Yes. Chicken is a protein. It is going to give you nutrition. They are made up of amino acids and help you do almost any function. And the side dish is carrots, which is filled with nucleic acids, and those will store and transmit genetic information. Oh, you like that flour? Well, you know that flowers make their food by the process of photosynthesis, which occurs in the chloroplast, and they carry out chemical reactions like carbon dioxide to oxygen. This process produces the sugars needed to feed the plant.
Cool.
Oh yeah, it really is fascinating. Because unlike plants, we get our energy from eating and undergoing cellular respiration. Basically, the breakdown of glucose gives oxygen, which produces ATP. It allows organisms to release stored energy in bonds of glucose. Energy in glucose produces more ATP.
That is really fascinating, but maybe I should just go home because my stomach is starting to hurt.
No, don't go. Your bread right now has already been in the mouth, where the salivary glands help break down the food for it to travel down the esophagus and into the stomach, where it is then passed to the small intestine. Then, juices from the pancreas, liver, and intestine are mixed and pushed to get further digestion. Finally, the digested nutrients are absorbed and transported throughout the body. The waste products are then exited out.
Oh, I can't do this. You are too smart.
Hey, Katie.
Hey, Sam.
So I just thought that we would come and talk today.
That sounds fun.
So I prepared a game for us. So if we were to have kids and get married at some point, what do you think our kids would look like?
I have no clue. Let's make a Punnett square to find out.
Alright, well luckily I came prepared with my own Punnett square in case we broach this topic. Okay, so if I have genes for blonde hair that are heterozygous, then we would set it up like this. This shows there's a 50% chance of us having a blonde-haired heterozygous kid and a 50% chance of us having a redhead homozygous recessive kid.
That's so cool to see how we pass on traits.
Isn't it? All because our parents passed their genes on to us.
How does that work?
Through a process called meiosis. I have a diagram somewhere. Here it is. Okay. First, the sex cells go through G1, duplicate in the S phase, go through G2, and then divide in M1, and during meiosis 2, they split again, and the result is 4 gametes with 1/2 the number of chromosomes as before. These gametes are sperm for males and eggs for females. During sexual reproduction, a sperm and an egg cell merge together. The resulting baby has half its chromosomes from its mom and half of it from its dad.
So that's how we get our DNA, and DNA is the template for protein synthesis.
That's when mRNA sends a message to tRNA to bring in the first amino acid to bind to the mRNA. The process continues until a complete protein chain is built. The rRNA holds it all in place until the protein is complete.
Wow, this has been a really informative date.
I love learning. So I thought for our date today, it would be fun to learn about what makes up an ecosystem.
That sounds fun.
This is an individual, a single member of a particular species.
Wow.
This is a population, a group of individuals that belong to the same species and live in the same area. And this is a community with snails, butterflies, and pine trees. Multiple populations that live together in a defined area.
Wow, I'm really understanding it now.
Exactly. And this is an ecosystem, a collection of all the organisms that live in a particular place, together with their non-living or physical environment, like the water, the pine trees, and the sun. A biome is a group of ecosystems that have the same climate and similar communities, like the deciduous forest. And a biosphere, well, that's our planet.
Wow, this is all so fascinating. I really think that I've evolved throughout this process. This new environment has caused certain girls to be eliminated, leaving only those best suited to live here. Sam has taught me that it's just like natural selection. Species with adaptive traits and better fitness survive longer and reproduce more than species with maladaptive traits. An example of this is Darwin's finches. Birds with different beaks thrive on different islands depending on the type of food available. It's just like us living in the house here.
Hi, Shoshana. Today we're going to visit a cancer patient because I love community service and expanding my knowledge of life growing and developing.
Sounds fun.
Here we are in Bridget's room. Oh look, she is 4 years old and has malignant cancer. Poor little girl. Isn't it amazing that as we speak, our cells are going through the cell cycle?
Well, I don't know what the cell cycle is.
You don't know what the cell cycle is? I have a picture for you. Here. So, as you can see, cells begin in the G1 phase, then move into the S phase, and end up in the G2 phase. All these are part of interphase, the resting phase. Then mitosis occurs. I'm sure you know what that is.
Cool, and no, I don't know what mitosis is, but you don't have to explain it to me.
No, I'm going to explain it to you. Here, this is it. Let's say that a cell has 4 chromosomes. It goes through prophase, metaphase, anaphase, telophase, and cytokinesis to end up with 2 identical daughter cells.
Well, you didn't have to explain that, but thanks. I don't understand why you're saying all this when we're visiting a cancer patient.
Oh, let me explain. There are 2 types of cancers. Benign cancer cells are not cancerous and don't spread, but malignant cancer cells are cancerous and in fact do spread. Bridget cells divide and spread uncontrollably.
I guess it's kind of cool that all this happens in cells.
It really is. That comment is part of cell differentiation. I think it's incredible how a single zygote can become an entire body of different types of cells.
That's cool, but I really need to go.
Okay.
Don't go.
Hi, Katie.
Hey, Sam.
I have a wonderful picnic set up for you today.
Oh, I can see. I'm so excited to get to know you better.
Yeah. Oh, no, don't eat that. There are millions of bacteria cells on your hands, which, by the way, are prokaryotes. They are very different than our cells, but they only have a membrane which regulates all that enters and leaves the cell and allows self-recognition, ribosomes, which are the site of protein synthesis, one-strand DNA, which holds the template for protein synthesis, and cytoplasm, which is where all these things are in the cell. And guess what? They don't have a nucleus or organelles.
Wow, that's really interesting, but I just want to eat my sandwich.
Did you know that you're eating cells?
What?
Yeah. The meat in the sandwich is made up of cells. They're eukaryotic cells and have the same structures as prokaryotes, but also have a nucleus which controls the cell and holds the DNA. They also have mitochondria, which is the site of cellular respiration, endoplasmic reticula, which acts as a pathway through the cell, Golgi bodies, which package and distribute proteins, and centrioles, which help in cell division.
Wow, Sam, you are very smart. But let's talk about you. What do you like to do?
I like to go to the park and read while sitting on the grass. Ooh, grass! Did you know that plant cells are different than animal and human cells? They have a cell wall which provides support for the plant, chloroplasts, which are the site of photosynthesis, and a large central vacuole to store waste.
Stop, Sam. I can't take all this information. You're just too smart.
Hannah, we're going to play a game called Memory, Life Responsive Maintains Homeostasis version.
Wow, sounds like fun. Explain to me what we do.
Let's think small. Very small. Yes, I'm talking about the cell membrane. The cell membrane is a fluid mosaic, semi-permeable structure and...
Whoa, big words. Can you explain what it is you're talking about?
I'll clear it up. The cell membrane is described as a fluid mosaic because the phospholipids create a flexible pattern. The cell membrane is also described as semi-permeable because it only allows certain molecules in and out. Molecules get in and out of the cell membrane through 2 methods of cell transport. Here's the game. I will hold up a picture of a process of cell transport and you tell me what it is. Let's start with passive transport, which does not use energy. So Hannah, we're going to start with this picture. Tell me what this is.
That's diffusion, right?
Yeah. And this?
I know that one. That's osmosis.
Yeah. And this?
Those are ion channels, right?
Yeah. What is this?
That's a carrier protein.
And this?
That's a receptor protein.
C. Now we're on to active transport, which does require energy. What's this?
That's a sodium-potassium pump.
And what's this?
That's endocytosis, where large molecules are transported into the cell. Exocytosis is the opposite, where large molecules are transported out of the cell.
Wow. Hannah, I love how you appreciate the characteristics of life just like I do. And for that reason, I would like to marry you.
Sure, why not?